Peace, family. This is your boy Fonzie from BackTheOnline.com, and we're joined this week with an exclusive, super special guest. Peace, family. Welcome to BackTheOnline.com, your one-stop shop for the highest hip-hop edutainment. Bringing you the dopest no-limit interviews, hip-hop legends, reviews, views, news, and more. So if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be updated on new drops and content. And this is the honorable and legendary Mopreme Shakur. What's good with you, sir?
Peace and blessings to one and all. How you doing, man? Hanging tough.
No doubt, man. Peace, blessings, and all of that. It's definitely, as I said, an honor and a privilege to connect to stuff with you. A long time, fan of yourself, and definitely a huge supporter of the family and the movement and stuff. But we definitely want to get into some more of that. We're tuning in from London right now. And as we know, with the diaspora of our people, it spreads worldwide and stuff. So we want to get into a bit of your upbringing and stuff to start with for the listeners who may not be accustomed with you.
My upbringing, I grew up partially, I was born in New York, but I grew up partially in the South and in New York. My father lived in New York. I went to high school for a bit in New York and a bit in the South. So, and what else about my upbringing?
Well, I mean, we definitely want to, get a bit of an understanding of, the climate that you grew up in at the time. And, just being the son of Dr. Mopreme Shakur and stuff, just the significance and importance of the Shakur family and stuff as well.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Shakur and my mother, they were like childhood sweethearts, So I'm the oldest. And, while Matula was around on the streets, he had intentions of being a good father. He would walk me and Pac to school. He would pick me up when he could, but he was involved in a lot of shit. Can I curse on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he was involved in a lot of shit, a lot of, positive things affecting the community and disenfranchised people. So, and my mother, on the other hand, had a more traditional Christian Baptist background. So I was in the church, and then my father is Muslim. And so it was a combination of worlds, And, I learned a lot from each. And, at the same time, while in New York, it was at the birth of hip hop. I was a young man. I was like between 10 and 12 in New York, where hip hop was just being born. So I was bit by that bug. So the combination of these worlds made your boy what I am today.
No doubt. Now, we definitely appreciate that and stuff. And we definitely salute the works and the accomplishments of the family and stuff as well. You mentioned coming up in New York around the, obviously the Mecca and stuff for hip hop. And what were some of the artists that you was listening to that sort of inspired you to want to take to the mic yourself?
Oh man, I was first and foremost, I was a Kool Moe Dee fan. Okay. Kool Moe Dee from the Treacherous Three, that was my man right there. I'm a Mo, he's a Mo, so I connected just on that. But as far as the love of hip hop, he's one of my favorite rappers, plus the Treacherous Three. A lot of the old school groups. When hip hop was born, it was like, brothers would go to the park or to the gym with a box with a portable radio to record straight from the speaker. You know what I mean? It was like getting, fresh dope off the brick. So, and that's how the real mixtape started, because dudes would go from block to block, from party to party, borough to borough, getting hip hop because it was so rare at the time. And then we watched it grow. Cold Crush Brothers, Fantastic Romantic Five, MC Spoonie G. A lot of the old school. I grew up from there up.
Okay. And you mentioned Pac and stuff earlier. Was you around the period when he was MC New York? At that point,
MC New York, that's right. Pac was MC New York. He was right behind me. So he just caught it. He caught it, but he was able to do it a few years later than me, He was going through his own growth and experiences in New York, but at the same time, during that time, we were separated. Speaking of Dr. Shakur, as you probably know, he was on FBI's 10 Most Wanted, Interpol list. So the family's kind of, my mother took me over here, Pac's mom took him over here. But we have different mothers, but my father, raised us, while he was on the street, you dig? And so our experiences in music was separate, but we didn't get to do it together till years later,
Yeah, I mean,
because when we were together as kids, he was a shorty. He was like between 2 and 6. You know what I mean? He was a little one, and we would play fight karate, and do the stuff that little ones do. But by that age, our families had, separated and was laying low while Matulu was underground.
We're gonna get back to maybe a bit of Matulu later, and maybe a bit of Asata Shakur and stuff as well, because we've had some fan questions around Asata and stuff as well. But sticking on the music vein quickly, you would culminate things back together with the thuglife group and stuff, with yourself being a member of Big Psych and Macadocious and stuff. How did that, formulate that album, and what was the experience like recording that project?
The Thuglife album was an album, but also a movement. The Hate You Gave Little Infants fucks everyone. That's what, it stood for. Pac was always trying to create a movement for the people, a center for the people to start from, a center of strength being us. We wanted to, first it was 50 niggas, meaning one good man in every state. And in every state, if we got one good man in every state, we could accomplish anything, right? And, that was around the Strictly For My Niggas album. Then, we are, we're artists, we're constantly creating. And then after that, we were growing and developing the idea, turned into Thuglife. So we had to do the music project, and we got my father involved to help write the Thug Code, which was also, a list of rules, regulations, and bylaws that, our communities could follow to stay alive. It was a critical time in the U.S. Because they were enacting the crime bill, which affected all Black and brown and disenfranchised peoples. So we were trying to make awareness and make our people aware and have a tool to use to protect ourselves. And that was supposed to be the Thug Code, but we also had to get their attention with the music, and that was the Thuglife album.
I think, we definitely did that and reached, wide success and stuff like that. Another person who was featured within that was, Big Stretch and stuff as well. As you said, he featured on some of the previous albums that Pac did and stuff as well before. do you was Thug Life supposed to be an East Coast thing as well? Because we hear, obviously we heard that everybody knows the whole Tupac and Big thing, and they heard that Big at one point was screaming Thug Life. We heard Stretch and others, at one point screaming Thug Life, and I think the Live Squad and other guys. So you mentioned it being a movement? Was that something that would have been the original sort of outlaw movement?
Originally, that's how it was supposed to be. Everybody that we was rolling with at the time had a part. That's why Stretch, Live Squad, he got a song produced on there. But the album that you hear, the album that is like the second version of the Thug Life album. Because Pac had originally started working on it. Labels were saying, "Yo, this is too hard. You can't say some of this stuff, dude."
Yeah.
And then he asked me to, make an album that help him make an album that the labels would accept. So we had to tone it down a bit, and that's the album that I put together and that you are aware of. Because at the time, Pac was shooting above the rim. We was trying to get all the money, do all the work. So he was trying to shoot the movie, but at the same time, we had to get the project finished. So I was working on the Thug Life album while he was working on Above the Rim.
Okay, that's pretty dope. And you mentioned even just some of the additional work and stuff you was doing. It's been well documented. Obviously, your capacity as like a big brother. We've seen even footage from the past where you were there holding Pac down. Infamous footage and stuff that was out there and stuff. And in terms of how things sort of went with Death Row, could you see that coming then at the time that Pac will go out to side with Death Row Records and go out to be arguably one of the biggest artists in hip hop history?
Well, we knew it could have been a possibility. It could have been a possibility because we were allies. We were cool with Snoop. We were cool with Warren G. Actually, Warren G got a song he produced on the Thug Life album. Pac had built a lot of friendships and relationships while being on the road with Digital Underground. And so, by Death Row being the biggest rap label at the time, it only makes sense that, he would be over there. He would go over there, especially, with Dr. Dre over there, the top producer in the game. Pac was always aspiring to be number one, to be on top, period, So when that situation came about, there was other avenues trying to open up for him to, other labels trying to, make a play, but he felt more comfortable at the Row.
And I mean, yourself, was you offered any kind of deal with Death Row and stuff? We heard on the Outlawz. Your outlaw name was it Comania, I believe?
Yeah. I was around in the beginning. The plan was we was Outlaw Immortals, all of us together, including Pac, including Psych, and all the Outlaws. All of us together were Outlaw Immortals. And that was done also so we could springboard the young ones, the Outlaws, off so they could do their own thing. Everybody's going to know them from this album. That album was the most anticipated album in a long time when it came out. So, that would have really kicked off their careers. So that song, shout out to DJ Pooh who produced it, had all of us on it. But at the same time, around that period, I was a new father, so I was spending less time away.
I mean, I remember there was a documentary that came out called, I believe it could have been Biggie and Tupac or something. It was shot years ago with it was an English guy that shot it. And, he came out to the States and he shot some stuff. And I remember an interview with you and stuff out there. He was, trying to do some questions and stuff around the case. Now it's been documented. I'm not going to get too much into it, but there was a bit of a falling out with yourself and Death Row and stuff. I know Reggie Wright has recently spoke on it and stuff, but what I really liked was when you featured on that documentary, there was an excerpt from you in there speaking, and you said you used a quote which was off Dr. Martin Luther King, and it was along the vein of, don't judge somebody from where they stand in moments of comfort, but how they come back from challenge and controversy. And that's always struck a chord with me when you said that. So I want to just salute you for that and stuff, because, at that time was when you was pushing the return of an outlaw and new stuff like that. And so, I remember that time quite vividly. So I want to get back to that moment when you was coming back, recording new music, you doing the return of an outlaw. What was that like for you?
When I was coming back, when?
When you did the Return of an Outlaw.
Oh, that's that song in particular. I love that song, but it was just a, I'm an artist. You keep working. You keep, making art, and you keep making songs, regardless where you at, what label, where, you keep pushing. And so that was a song I was working on for a project. It didn't officially get released, but I'm gonna drop something new shortly here.
Okay, that's what's up. I mean, we're always listening out to hear some new stuff. We know that there's, been a few people that have passed away over the years. We gotta say rest in peace to Hussein. Rest in peace to Big Psych and stuff as well. Do you keep in contact with any of the other guys' stuff? Storm, anybody,
Yeah, rest in peace to all, thug in peace to all the homies passed on. Yeah, I keep in touch. I saw, Edie, I saw Edie last year. Napoleon Mutaz in Saudi Arabia, and I talk to him often. Yeah, these are a lot of old OG relationships. So yeah, a lot of us still in tune.
Okay. And what were your thoughts on the Tupac or Liza movie that they did? I believe the Outlawz had the part to play in it, and Altie Hunting and stuff.
Never saw it.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. Any particular reason, or you just feel no need?
Nah, I just there's a lot of material that comes out about us, about my brother, about me, about our family, and you don't catch it all. You don't, find some projects better than others. So,
And every
once in a while I check them out, but I don't be tripping.
Okay. I was gonna ask how I heard they was doing a new one as well, but how are things moving forward with just stuff with Dr. Matunu's case and stuff at the minute? Because I know he's petitioning and stuff. Is there any information on that where fans can check out and support?
We for the family, for friends and family and friends, check out MopremeShakur.com for all the recent information. Thanks for asking. We're still pushing the line. His cancer has returned. So we are pursuing compassionate release. 3 avenues we trying to get him out on: compassionate release. He's got some good time that he's owed. They need to pay him back. He can get out now. And habeas corpus filed and thinking here in Los Angeles. And, we've been talking to these politicians here to really, because, the system's still unfair, to make them do right by him. 2024, they have to let him go either way, but he's got cancer now. You dig? Cancer has returned now. So, there's some urgency on it, and call your local Congress people if you're trying to help. Look up tupac.shakur.com, all the current info. Make some noise, start some good trouble for Dr. Shakur.
No doubt, man. We definitely salute and honor all the political prisoners and stuff around the world for their, tireless efforts, and at the same time, putting themselves in positions where some people would never do that, where they've been sacrificial in a lot of aspects for the wider community and stuff. So we definitely got to continue to support where we can and encourage those to check out as much information as you can and get yourself abreast with what's going on and stuff like that too. So before we wind down, I want to ask you just a couple of questions about just modern hip hop nowadays. We're seeing a mass of deaths within the young hip hop community and culture. Recently, the loss of Young Dolph and others. Coming from, an old school hip hopper who's seen a lot, been around a lot, what do you think the issue is, and how can we address some of these things that are happening nowadays?
There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues. There's our current day, our current time has created some new extra stress. Poverty's still real, y'all. Poverty's still real. People still hungry on these streets, believe it or not. People still homeless on these streets, believe it or not. For those who fight the good fight. We as a people, a culture, we gotta start respecting life more. We gotta start respecting our own lives more. I think that's been forgotten, it gets forgotten over the years with the rise of the stress, with the rise of poverty, with the rise of unfairness, and the politics here in the U.S. is not making it any better. They're trying to, they're trying to stop us from voting now, and that's really a problem. So, people look for hope, and you don't find hope, you just get frustrated, and then pressure bust pipes.
I mean, when we think of hope, when we think of just inspiration and motivation, we hold that Shakur name quite high because it's been associated with people that have fought for the freedoms of others, whether that be Dr. Matudu, Assad Shakur, Afeni, Tupac, yourself, and many others. With that name significance, then what in the I don't want to say the future for the next generation of the Shakur tribe and family, is there going to be a new young generation that's going to push the line to a different point as well?
Yeah, we got to keep pushing the line. We got to keep pushing the line and try to stay focused. Try to stay focused on. One of my mantras is got to stay positive and progressive. Positive and progressive. Stay positive and move forward. Positivity and move forward. That's the energy that moves you forward. And we got to learn to love ourselves, man. Even when we broke, we got to learn to love ourselves. Even when, I know it's hard. People make you want to do things to them, but you got to realize it's all going to fall back on you and the repercussions that you're going to have to deal with. Try not to make nobody want to kill you. You know what I'm saying? You got to think of it all ways. I don't really have there's any specific answers, but as far as us, the Shakurs, we're going to try to stay positive and progressive. Y'all know what we've been through as a family. Each and, there's several in this family of note. And we still here, and it's hard with the bright lights in your face. It's hard. Even with Pac gone, it's still, there's eyes on us. You mentioned Asada. That's our situation. All eyes on us. It's still, it's difficult. But we could do it. Like, rest in peace, like my man Fatal said, we strong people, we resilient people. as well. So we gotta remember that. We gotta stick together, black and brown, internationally, worldwide, internationally, black and brown people. Y'all better hear me. We need to stick together. Figure it out, because there's things going on that's against us in this world, and they're clicking up. So we need to click up.
Man, that's a fact. That's a fact right there. You know, speaking of clicking up as well, you know, I'll take that note to shout out Eyez, you know, as well, because out there in the States doing great stuff with his podcast, Eyez Speaks. I believe you could have been a guest out there at some point too. So, you know, we're all about connecting, networking from the US to the UK to Africa, worldwide, all over, you know, the diaspora, all over this planet, wherever our people and stuff are at. So we definitely, you know, with that message. So just before we wind out quickly, because I know we might be a bit pressed for time with yourself, and we do appreciate the time that you've given us thus far. Is there anything that we can look out for in terms of, you know, music, movements, NFTs? A lot of people are dropping collections and stuff like that now. Could we see you getting involved in some stuff like
that? Affirmative. I'm, you know, dabbling in NFT space. I'm gonna put some more NFTs up on Rarible. I got an account on Rarible.com. Check out your boy. That's very interesting. As well, I'm getting ready to have my own metaverse.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah.
Thugmetaverse.com.
Nice.
You know, we still pushing, you know, and staying creative. Stay creative. For the ones that are creative, stay creative, and it helps you stay out of trouble. I mean, niggas already know. And you might be able to make a couple bucks at the same time. So, you know, those creators keep creating.
You know, that's a dope one. And where can everybody find you on social media?
And I'm getting ready to do some music with the legendary Bootsy Collins. We still working on a plan of what to drop. And Bishop Lamont, shout out. My man Roland. Social media, my Instagram, Mopreme Shakur, blue check, holla at your boy, and I'm on Twitter.
Okay, no doubt. And we definitely want to say you definitely one of the solid ones out there who over the years always takes time to connect with fans. You know, you've never acted like too big to connect with people or anything like that. You know, you connect out with fans, reach out to them. So people listening or tuning in when you're watching this, definitely be able to tune in and tap into Mopreme, be able to talk to them and stuff like that too, you know.
Word up. It's still thug life all day, every day. We still with the movement. We still pushing the line. Long live Machiavelli the Don, Yaki Gaddafi, Fatal Hussein. You know what I'm saying? We still pushing the line. Thug life lives, baby. You know what I mean? Spread the word. Black and brown people, we gotta connect. Open your eyes and ears. Open your eyes and ears. Fall back off that fucking that white dope too. You know who I'm talking to. So holla back at your boy.
Oh, there you go. So want to salute to the family. This is Outlaw No Limit family. We're here for life, man. Thug life, we representing. Peace out. If you're joining us on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to be updated on new drops and content. And don't forget to head over to BoutThatOnline.com where you can find more hip-hop news, interviews, and updates. Peace. Peace, family. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check us out on BoutThatOnline.com. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for exclusive playlists and social media for all different types of segments and content.